Cover athletes for video games is probably the most exciting thing you can experience if you're a sports gamer. Back in the day, EA used to do this fun thing where they'd let the fans vote on who they wanted to be the newest cover athlete for all their games. And with the newest release of NHL 24 coming out, EA has decided to stick with the option of basically just releasing the cover athlete with a big announcement of the game. But back in around 2014-15, this was one of the most exciting things to experience if you were a hockey sports gamer. In 2014, you had the goalie race of Sergei Bobrovsky and Martin Brodeur, with Brodeur getting the cover of arguably the greatest Chell of all time. And in 2015, you had the Boston vs. Montreal rivalry, with PK Subban and Patrice Bergeron duking it out, having fans vote who they wanted to be the cover. So today, because they have moved away from that sort of style of fan cover voting, I decided to create a bracket with your guys' favorite picks and put it all together for you to vote as the fan voted cover athlete for NHL 24. So I stripped your comments from Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and compiled them all together as one, and these were the matchups that I was able to create. So I took all of the players that you guys suggested and put them in a bracket. We have 8 players from the Western Conference and 8 from the Eastern Conference. In my round 1 matchups, we have Jack Hughes against Sebastian Aho, Igor Shesterkin versus Cole Caulfield, David Pastrnak versus Tage Thompson, and Matthew Tkachuk versus Ilya Sorokin. Moving over to the Western Conference, we have Cale Makar versus UC Saros, Jack Eichel versus Elias Pettersson, Leon Draisaitl versus Mikko Rantanen, and Kirill Kaprizov versus Connor Hellebuyck. The matchups are set, and here are the people that you guys decided to vote for in the first round. So in our first round matchup, we had Jack Hughes versus Sebastian Aho, and Jack Hughes won by a landslide. Round 2 matchup, we had Igor Shesterkin versus Cole Caulfield, and I think Cole Caulfield only got himself 2 votes for this cover. Shesty definitely had fans voting for him. Then David Pastrnak versus Tage Thompson was one of the closest battles that I saw, but David Pastrnak did edge out against TNT, getting that first round dub. The last matchup from the East was Matty Tkachuk versus Ilya Sorokin, and surprisingly, Tkachuk won by just 1 vote. There's a lot of New York Islanders fans out there, but unfortunately for them, Matthew Tkachuk is moving on. So our round 2 matchups will now be Jack Hughes versus Igor Shesterkin, David Pastrnak versus Matthew Tkachuk. Moving over to the Western Conference, it was Cale Makar versus UC Saros, and Cale Makar just came out swinging, destroying UC in this first round matchup. Elias Pettersson versus Jack Eichel was another insanely close one, but Jack Eichel edged out by just 2 votes. Next matchup, Leon Draisaitl versus Mikko Rantanen, and Mikko got himself just 1 vote as Draisaitl fans came in hard. And the last matchup was Kirill Kaprizov versus Connor Hellebuyck, and Kirill kind of just got way more votes than Hellebuyck. It wasn't as bad as some of the other ones, but Kaprizov fans did show up. Now this is the end of round 1, so voting for round 2 will be coming out on my Instagram, TikTok, and I'll place it here on YouTube as well. So make sure you put your comments down below, picking who you want to win in the round 2 matchups that we have set. We're going to do this, and voting will end on Monday at 6 p.m. So get your votes in quick. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and let me know who you think should be the newest cover athlete of NHL 24. I'll see you guys in the next one.